Hey, Angela, how are you? Welcome to the Natural to Natural podcast.
Hey, Samiko, I'm good. How are you? And thanks for having me.
I'm so glad that you could be here with us today. So, why don't we go into introducing, telling everybody who you are, let us get to know you, and learn all about you before we get into your hair story.
Okay, well, hello, everyone. My name is Angela V. McKnight. I am the first African American woman to serve as the Assemblywoman in the 31st District here in New Jersey. I'm also a mother of two beautiful adult children, a grandmother of one grandson, he's 2.5, and I am the wife of my sweetheart from high school. Well, actually, I was in the
Whoa,
eighth grade. I was in the
sweet
eighth
from
grade, and he
high
was going
school?
to the
Wait.
well, I
You were
was in
in
the
the
eighth
eighth
grade.
and he was in high school?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yes, he
so
was
you
in the
guys have
ninth
been
grade.
together for that long?
Yes, and coming up, we are about to celebrate our 16th wedding anniversary and 26 years together, something
Wow,
like
that
that.
is so beautiful. Congratulations. That is rare nowadays, Angela. You're gonna have to let us know how you guys do it. Seriously, that is so beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. I look forward to coming back on another show so I can talk
Okay.
about that.
All right, so guys,
Yeah,
tell us about
yeah.
you.
So I'm also the founder and CEO of a nonprofit called AngelaCARES, which I started in 2011. I serve seniors, caregivers, and the youth. And I am the CEO of Think Her Now. I launched this online retail store last year. And just a couple of days ago, I just came out with my first activewear. Yay!
Ooh,
Woo!
very
Uh,
nice.
Thank you. I'm also an adjunct professor at New Jersey City University, and I'm an instructor at Rising Tide Capital, where we teach entrepreneurs how to start and grow their business. And also, I'm known as the carepreneur because I care about people.
Okay. I think you just named like 10 different things that you do. Okay, how do you do it all? Because you have your mother, your grandmother, your wife first, and then you have a nonprofit, and then you have a for-profit, and then you're doing a podcast, and then you're instructing. Okay, Angela, how do you do it all? And then you have natural hair, which is work, right? How do you
You're
do
right
all
about
of
that. You're right about that. I do it all by the grace of God. God is my savior. I am a servant of God, and He does not allow me to do anything that is not written for me.
that?
So I wear many, many hats, and I forgot about my other first business. It's called Care About You. We do consulting work for elderly and caregivers. So I love what I do. I wake up each and every morning not thinking I'm going to work. I think about what I can do to help people on a daily basis. How can I add value to people? And am enjoying myself. And I just realized that jazz music helps me calm my nerves while I'm working on the multiple tasks
Wow, that is such
that I
a
do.
thing. I love the fact that you said, you said so many things already, but you love what you do, so it doesn't seem like work, and you enjoy getting up to do it. So it's not begrudging. You're like, oh my god, I got to go to work today. Oh my goodness, I have to do this. You actually wake up looking forward to it, and so many people need to experience that, right? Because it doesn't feel like you're working. Okay, so now that we
Exactly.
know a little bit about you, let us learn about that hair story. So tell us, what was it like growing up in your household with natural hair?
So I believe I got my first perm or curly kit because I did have a curly kit. Remember the curly kits?
Oh, I do. I
I had a
remember
curly
this
kit.
one. Yes, I had one of those too.
Yeah, so I was under 10 years old, and my mother was really never the type to do hair. Like we used to have those big ponytails in our hair, or those big braids in our hair. And I remember getting a kitty perm. And I know I was under 10 years old, and then it moved to a perm. And throughout grammar school, throughout high school, throughout my adult life, I had perms in my hair. And it was until 2010 when I finally wanted to get rid of the perms. and the chemicals in my hair. And it was because of I got tired of going to the beauty parlor, right? Like going to the beauty parlor, being there for like 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, or going to a personal stylist and having to worry about when they're going to do my hair, or if they have to go, go get dressed or go and stop and eat. And I was just tired. And the pricing was always off. I also went to like get the doobies, and I noticed my hair, because I used to do a lot of braids too, and I noticed my hair was thinning, like my edges, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So one day I went to my girlfriend's house and I said, you know what? I'm going to cut my hair. And she says to me, you're going to cut your hair? I'm like, yes, I'm going to cut my hair. So I said, give me some scissors. So I literally walked
here at your girlfriend's house.
I cut my hair at my girlfriend's house.
And she stood there and watched you do it and let you do it.
No, it went in phases, right? So we were in her bedroom or in her living room, and she gave me the scissors, and I went into the bathroom and I took the middle of my hair and I pulled it up and I chopped it. So I called her. I'm like, Charlene, honey, Charlene. I said, Charlene, come here. So she comes running in the bathroom and she sees me holding my hair. And she said, oh my gosh. I said, yes, I cut it off. So now you got to help me cut the rest of this off. So I literally cut from the middle, because if I didn't cut from the middle, I would have said, no, I'm not going to do it. So I cut from the middle. So she helped me finish cutting it off, and it was the big chop.
So was she a professional stylist?
No, she wasn't.
Wait, so not only did you cut your hair, but then you dragged her in on this too.
I dragged her in on it too. She was like, Angela, I said, look, I can't see the back, so you have to cut. I said, just cut all the perm out. Just cut it out. So I have pictures too. I have to send you the pictures. Okay. I have pictures at a mini fro.
At that point, how much did you grow out already? Like, did you grow out enough to cut off? Like, did you have like 2 or 3 inches, or you don't know?
It was time. I know it was time for a perm. It was time for a perm. So I did have some new growth there. I had a teeny weenie. That's what it was called, right? Okay. Teeny weenie. So we laughing, and she was like, oh my gosh, it looks good. I'm like, okay, now what am I gonna do? I don't know what I'm doing with this. Remember, I never had natural hair. I probably was like 4 with natural hair.
Right. Oh my goodness. So then what did you decide to do after you cut all his hair off? It's like, now what? Like, what happened next?
So I went to YouTube to look at what to do with teeny weenie. YouTube University. So I go and I see, and then I go to the store and I get all these products, and I did the twist, right? The teeny weeny twist. And then I went and got some hair bows, and I started wearing hair bows in my hair. But the thing is,
Angela, you can fit hair bows in there.
Well, girl, I used to wear this red one. I used to put it like right here, because I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? And I'm looking at like, what type of hair is this? Is this A, B, C? What is this? Because I have some rough hair. I'm going to tell you, I have some rough hair, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is. So, but the catcher is, I go home right now. My husband nor my children, they have no idea what I just did. So I go home after leaving my girlfriend's house, and I go, and my husband looks at me. He said, what did you just do? I said, babe, I am liberated. I did it. I did it. So he didn't really have a response, right? He was just saying like, what did you do? And I'm like, I did the big chop. And I showed my daughter, I showed my son, and it was like, Mom, what did you do? I'm like, I did it. So I didn't have a plan. I just did it because I was tired, Samiko. Yeah. I was done.
Wow. So now I know their initial reaction was like, what did you do? But did everybody start to come around after a while? Like, okay, I see that she's really serious about this. And I see it seems like this is staying forever. So like, how did they start to accept it?
So my husband, he supports me in everything that I do. And he was like, okay, that's what you want. That's you. You're my wife. I'm good with you. My daughter was like, you went natural. But I just want to let everybody know that my daughter's natural too. So it took her some years, but she's natural too. And my girlfriend, who I cut my hair in her house, she's also natural too.
Wow. So you see the trickle
yes,
down effect. You done affected everybody. Very nice.
yes.
Now, what challenges did you face? I know you said it was very, very rough, like your hair is very rough. So what other challenges did you face as you transitioned to, you know, to natural, to going back to natural?
So I was working in the corporate world. So I
Oh,
had to go to
yeah.
work. I had to go to work.
What was that like?
So I go to work and there are people saying, wow, your hair looks good. And there are people just, staring. I never got anyone to say to me, what did you do to your hair? Like in a negative way. But you know how sometimes people look at you, that look, right?
Oh,
So
at
I
all.
got the look, right? I got the look, but I also got, wow, your hair looks good, because I was always versatile, right? I had weaves in my hair, I have braids in my hair. So people were like, oh, wow, can I touch your hair? Right? With all these styles. So how did you do your hair? No, I don't let people touch my hair, but I'm just saying it was asked.
Right, right.
But so at work, people, I was embraced, but I did see some of the frowns. And that's when I I started doing protective styles. I
Okay.
started putting weave in my hair. I was wearing wigs, right? And because I didn't like this, I didn't like the stairs. And then also I was still trying to figure out my hair. Like what am
Mhm.
I doing with this? The hair was growing, but I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I
Right.
went to YouTube University, but looking at the demonstrations, they look good, but then when you do it, you like, that's not it.
It never came out looking like the girl in the video, right?
Exactly. So I went to wearing a bunch of protective styles. So
Okay.
it wasn't until 2019, literally 2019, when I said, I am done of wearing protective styles. I am done of hiding who I am. I need to learn how to care for myself, for my hair. So for over a year now, so from January 2019 to currently, I have not worn a protective style.
Wow.
I've worn my natural hair, whether it was a twist out, whether it was an afro. I started wearing bows again, flowers again in my hair.
That's
And
it.
remember, I'm an Assemblywoman, so I have to go down to Trenton, right, with a bunch of people, and I'm wearing this afro or I'm wearing this, twist out. And it took me to embrace myself, to not worry about those stares that I talked about. So
Very.
it's been over a year and I still struggle, right? And I know we'll talk about that. I still struggle, but I push through because I have to feel comfortable in my own skin and not
Absolutely.
worry about somebody else talking about me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always say this, the confidence that you exude is what you're going to get back. And so if you're not confident about your hair or about yourself, how do you expect other people to embrace you where you are? And so talk about going to Trenton, right, with your natural hair. Give us all the goods on, the work that you put in for the legislation that was passed.
Yeah, so the young man, Andrew Johnson, who was forced to cut his dreadlocks or forfeit his wrestling match. I watched that on the news and I cringed when I saw that. And I'm like, wait, the doorbell rung. And I'm like, I'm a legislator. I can write legislation. So I worked with my team and we came up with legislation to ban hair discrimination. Now, not knowing that California and New Jersey, and New York was doing this, not knowing this,
Wow.
but they were doing this. And I connected with the Crown Act Coalition. I connected with Dove, and they helped champion the bill. And it was signed. It was signed. The governor signed it the 1 year anniversary of when Andrew Johnson cut his dreadlocks off. So right now, New Jersey is the third state to ban hair discrimination. So that I feel great about that because no one have to feel uncomfortable going to work or going to school or going anywhere in the state of New Jersey worrying about what someone will say about their hair. It's discrimination.
Absolutely.
So for
Thank you
years,
so much for
you are most welcome.
that. Because, I've been in the hair industry for over 25 years, and, natural hair is now starting to be accepted, like you said. But years ago, it just was unheard of. If you did, it was underneath another style. You would never just outrightly come for the fear of being uncomfortable with the stares, with, people having things to say about your, and I think this is why it's so hard for women, like you said, to embrace our texture. And this is why we've never learned how to take care of it or how to manage it, because we had to run away from what naturally grew out of our head. And so it is such a beautiful thing to be at a place now where we can love who we were blessed to be, right? Our hair is a blessing. It's not a mistake. God didn't make a mistake when this hair, the way that it is, grows out of our head. And I always say that he gives us everything we need to take care of it. It's just now we have to put forth the effort. And it's going to take a little bit of work, like you said, but it's the best work to do because it's loving and embracing who we are. So kudos to you and thank you so much, Angela, for that. And so now it's our job, again, like you said, to embrace who we are so that now we can inspire other women and help them to embrace who they are. And this is how we work together, so I appreciate that story and I so appreciate you. Thank you so much. So now what?
Well, I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So what do you love so much about your hair? Now that you're fully natural and you fully embraced it for a whole year and you realize the challenges that you may face, what are the things that you absolutely love about your hair?
It's versatile. I love the fact that it's versatile. I could wear an afro, my hair shrinks, right? I have a lot of shrinkage, so I can have it just do what it does. And I have no issues, right? It's versatile, right? It's not, part of my hair I say is what 4C, the other part is B, and so I could wear any style that I want to wear. And again, I told you it's been over a year that I haven't put not one protective style in my hair. So I walk out here, I'm like, okay, this is who I am. Yep. But I love me. And like you said, God has given us this hair that grows out of our head. So no one should tell us otherwise. And I just love the fact that my hair is versatile and I'm loving it even more and more. And like I said, I called you and you answered my question and you gave me some tips already on when I do my twist out and I follow your tips. So I told you, like, look, I got a new hairstyle.
You are rocking it so proudly, and I absolutely love it. Because I think what happens when women go natural, they have this vision in their head of what they think their hair should look like, right? Because they're looking at other women, and then when their hair is not growing to be this image that they have in their head with this really thick or really long hair, then now it's like, oh, I don't like my hair, or they're not really embracing it. Instead of saying, okay, let's see what grows out and let's see what I have to work with and work with what we have, right? Once we do that, then we're going to start to put the care into it. We're going to start to love it. And anything that you love and you nurture, it grows beautifully. We see that in nature in itself. If you don't take care of it, then yes, it's going to be like, it's going to fall out. It's not going to be healthy. But once you start to nurture it and love it, you're going to see how beautiful your hair actually is and the things that it could really do. And that's what we need to embrace. And that's what you started to do. You're like, okay, my hair could do this, my hair could do that. And then I gave you a couple of tips. And I'm like, look, do this, add this, do that. And you see the whole difference that it makes with even just a little change in the things that you can add to your regimen. And that was one of the things. So now what challenge, like if you had to ask me as a professional, like to give you advice on a challenge that you face, what challenge would that be? Or what question would it be?
So I'm still faced with this challenge. I have thin and edges, right? So you did give me a suggestion, right? You told me to get the bamboo tea,
Yeah.
which I ordered. So I'm waiting for Amazon to
Okay.
bring my tea here. So I'm still dealing with thinning edges, and like right up at the top, I have like thinning there. So I'm able to. I'm looking forward to wearing a ponytail, or I'm looking forward to wearing my hair all the way back. As of right now, I don't wear my hair all the way back because of at least one of the sides. It's much thinner. So whatever else you can, tell me what to do, let me know. I got my vitamin. I'm waiting for my bamboo tea and the extract. So, and I started using the toothbrush that you told
Okay,
me to
great.
use.
Great, excellent. And so with the thinning edges, typically when you wear a lot of protective styles, right, because of the stress of the added hair, the hairline is the finest and thinnest part of our hair. So whenever we add hair and then we leave it on for like weeks at a time, that weight tends to pull out our hair. And now imagine doing that over and over and over again. Our body is so beautifully made, Angela, that it acts as a protective for ourselves. So what happens is that if you constantly put a protective style on or putting weight on or stressing the edges, your biological makeup on your hair says, wait a minute, this is too much stress. And so something signals inside, it's like, we need to stop growing so that there's no more stress on there. And that's why, because you're constantly pulling out. And so that's where you get the thin, it's called traction alopecia. That's when you get the thinning edges. Now, if it's going to grow back or if it's permanently lost, we don't know. And that's why you do things like massage the scalp, because that causes circulation, which blood flows to the scalp, it helps to feed the follicle, that's helping the hair grow out. It also helps with exfoliation, so exfoliating dead cells, right, to open up the pores to help the hair grow out. And it helps for stimulation, right? So it stimulates, again, the blood flow. So you want to do that at least like 3 to 4 times a week, right, around the edges to stimulate. I don't know how often you're doing it now, because I know you're very busy, but make it a part of your routine when you get up in the morning, before you get out of bed, have your toothbrush there, or just use your fingertips and just lightly massage in those areas as often as you can. Okay, and then again, making sure hair growth starts within. So eating healthy is essential. Making sure you're getting a well-balanced meal, and then adding supplements like the bamboo tea, like biotin. Again, a lot of women, but you will get that in a vitamin. If you take a regular vitamin, you'll get a woman in a hair vitamin. You'll get that. So I would say just take a regular vitamin versus just taking biotin by itself, because it has all the other minerals that you would need to help each vitamin work with each other. Because what I found just in my experience, when women take an overdose of biotin and they're not taking it properly, and so they're not getting the results that they like, because most vitamins need other vitamins and minerals in order to metabolize properly in their body. And so because they don't know that, they're just running out and grabbing everything because this is what they hear, and not really getting the full story of how it actually works in our body. Right? So I would say take your multivitamin.
Absolutely.
Make sure you have a great diet, drink lots of water. Also, doing the stimulation, making sure you massage your scalp, and make sure you're using oils that are penetrative oils and not oils that are sealing oils. Because if you use really, really heavy oils, they can clog your pores, and that would hinder hair growth. You don't want to use oils that are clogged. You want to use oils that are going to penetrate into the scalp. And then you can lightly put the oils on your fingertips and then massage it into your scalp. And the same thing in this area here. Usually, androgenetic alopecia typically starts in this area. And what that is hair loss as you get older. So it's a natural biological process that we go through as we get older, when we start to lose hair in this area and right around the temple areas. And so if that's the case, there's nothing that we can do to stop it from happening, but we can prolong it by doing the things that we've mentioned here. Making sure you massage, make sure you have a great diet, and making sure you're taking supplements that can promote hair growth. Okay? Angela?
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I do want to, I'm here. I do want to just confirm what you're saying about the braids, right? The protective styles, because I used to wear braids a whole lot. And And after I stopped wearing the braids, I noticed, I'm like, oh my gosh, my edges are gone. But now for the past year, I've been like taking a vitamin and, taking care of my hair more better. And I'm beginning to see some growth back. And then after speaking to you, with you, I added a hair, nail, body vitamin, and I take a multivitamin for women. And I started using the toothbrush and massaging my scalp. And then when I get the bamboo tea, I'm going to, work on that too. So I do see some changes in my hair, and my diet is fine because I'm on like this healthy lifestyle. So I'm loving that part, and I'm drinking more and more water. So I do see it. It's coming slowly, but surely, but it's coming. And I'm happy of the results that I'm seeing now, the progress that I'm seeing now. So thank you for all of your tips. And
welcome.
And I want to say to you, this platform is amazing. I am so happy that you decided to do a Natural to Natural podcast to talk to everyday women such as myself and to share all the knowledge, because you're a subject matter expert, or I call them SMEs.
Thank you.
You're a SME. You're welcome. And you're sharing your tips, everything, your gems, you're sharing it with the world. And to be on here on your platform sharing my story about my hair, it's simply amazing. So I want to just personally say thank you, and I want you to thank yourself.
Oh, that's right. Thank her now. Thank you, Angela. I truly appreciate that. And I truly appreciate having women like you in my life as an inspiration, because I feel like it takes women to support one another. And you always are such an advocate for thanking yourself, for acknowledging the good that you do, for yourself, so that you can acknowledge the good that others do. And I truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate having you in my network, and you are so very welcome. I thank you so much for joining me on the Natural to Natural podcast and for sharing your story, because I know there are so many women who could relate to your story. And there's one other thing that I wanted to mention about protective stylings. Protective stylings are not bad within themselves. It's just that we've never learned how to take care of our hair while we have the protective styles in our hair. We just wear it and that's it. We know we look good, but we don't think about the caring part while we have it in there. And that is my number one goal and my passion, is to truly educate women with the right information to help them have the best hair experience possible, whether they wear protective styles, whether they want to wear their hair natural. So this is a no judgment zone. It's just that if you're going to do it with the right information, with professionals that can help you so that you can have the healthiest hair possible. So thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you. I so appreciate you. So now I want you to tell us where we can find you. Where can everyone go, our listeners go, to find you and all the yummy goody stuff that you're doing? Okay?
Yes. Well, you can go to www.thinkhernow.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group, Think Her Now, as well as a business page, Think Her Now. I'm on Twitter, Think Her Now _, and I'm also on Instagram, Think Her Now. So please reach out to me. Please connect with me. Please subscribe to my mailing list. And I look forward to connecting with you. And again, I just want to give it up to Samiko. Samiko, thank you so much. I appreciate this. Thank you for educating so many women. Your story, your life, your experience is going to help and build so many women communities and men, because I know you're going to have some men listening because they're natural too. So thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this.
You're so welcome. And you're right. For men, even if they're not, most men are natural, but to be supportive of the women and their wives who want to go natural. Because I know it's so important for their wives too, what their husband think. And having that support like you did from your husband, it makes the journey a lot easier. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Listen, you, my husband, he's right there, and I want to look good for him, and he embraces me, he supports me, and he loves me. He loves me for who I am, and he's very supportive. So kudos to my husband.
Yeah, we got to give a shout out to all the husbands out there that are supporting the women, their wives that are going natural, right? Because it helps them along their journey. Thank you so much, Angela. Talk to you soon.
Okay, take care. Thank you.
Bye.